Hey everybody, welcome back to Next Play Records. I'm Andy, and today I'm going to jump on the summer vinyl tag that was started by Dillon at Noble Records. I haven't done a video in probably over a year. Just haven't been that active on YouTube. You can look through my past videos if you're a first-time visitor to Next Play Records. I've done a lot in the past, but over the last year or so, I just haven't been that active. Very active on Instagram, so follow me on Next Play Records on Instagram. I post pretty much every day on the things I'm listening to, with sometimes simple comments, sometimes a little deeper thoughts about the record and the music. So welcome, and I'm going to get started on the summer vinyl tag. First prompt is summer in the title or summer in the song. I could do Summertime Blues and show my Alan Jackson, but I'm using this as an example, or as an opportunity to talk about how hot it's been in Georgia. I'm here in Georgia, and it's been, upper 90s for, it seems like, 2 straight months. But we're getting through it. We're thankful for the sun. But I'm going to go with, because summer here in Georgia is hot as fire. So I'm going to show the Mojo Hand, Lightning Hopkins Mojo Hand. This is the Complete Fire Sessions reissue that just came out about a month ago. I jumped on it. I had a pretty so-so reissue of Mojo Hand that I sold, so I grabbed this. This one sounds really good. I don't know that it's from the original tapes. I don't know the condition of those, but Lightning Hopkins Mojo Hand, one of his best albums, in my opinion, that I've heard. This is a good reissue because it has this, it's got the gatefold photos that we love on reissues, a little write-up about the sessions. But this is the Complete Fire Sessions. That's Fire was the label that put out Mojo Hand. So just wanted to show that off as my summer themed title. My dog snoring in the background back there. Okay, next one we have is latest great pickup. My latest great pickup is an OG Sonny Rollins, The Bridge. I mean, as much as I like jazz, as long as I've been collecting jazz, this is one that it's just kind of, I've never found the right deal for a pressing that I would want of it. All of the newer reissues of this are very pricey, I think, and kind of hard to find. So I was actually looking for a good conditioned OG. Found it. Love it on the RCA Victor. Love this album. Great pickup. 1961. I believe, Sonny Rollins, The Bridge. What an album. Whack-A-Mole, number 3. I'm just going to use this cubicle because I know most of my blue notes at the top, my country's across the room over there. So I have it separated. I'm going to know what I'm picking from non-blue note jazz here. Let's see what we got. Let's Whack-A-Mole. No way. No way. I've got Herbie Hancock Headhunters. Listen, I didn't plan this. Unbelievable. Rob the Waxed, some of y'all might know him. He went to the 50th anniversary show in California for the Headhunters, and I just received this in the mail. I got him to buy me a t-shirt to just kind of commemorate this album. I love this album so much, and I cannot believe I just whack-a-moled Herbie Hancock Headhunters the day I received this shirt from Rob for the 50th anniversary. Unbelievable. So there's my Whack-A-Mole. Love it. Herbie Hancock's jazz, probably the best jazz fusion album of all time. Next one we have An Animal on the Cover. That's our prompt. I'm going to go with a unique country voice from Canada, Coulter Wall. This is Imaginary Appalachia with a wolf smoking a cigarette. That's one of the coolest animal on the covers you'll find right there. Awesome country singer. This album, a couple of other ones, just singer-songwriter, acoustic sounding, growly voice. Look him up if you haven't heard him. Great songs on this one. Next prompt we've got is an album with a great story. All right, I'm going to show Joe Henderson on Milestone, In Pursuit of Blackness. Okay, here's the great story. It's probably April. Me and my brothers were selling at a record show in Atlanta. And usually when you're selling there, I mean, people are coming by looking at your records. You don't want to leave them unattended. You want to be there if somebody has any questions or if they want to buy something. So we don't leave the table all that often, unless, you know, one of my brothers can stand in on my table. So for about 5 minutes, I was able to get away. I start scouring this wall of records, and it looked familiar from another time. I knew the guy had great jazz. So I'm digging through the bins, and I find this record. It's one of the milestones on my want list of Joe Henderson, and it had a sticker on it that said $10. And now the median on this is about 100, but on the sticker it said, I don't know exactly how he said it, but really bad mark on side 2, G plus or something, vinyl. And so, I mean, as you can tell, I mean, the record, the sleeve is VG plus, you know, at least great for this old of an album. But so I pull it out and I'm looking and I see the mark he's talking about, but I'm thinking there's no way that he should be selling this for $10. I mean, it's beautiful, but you can see the mark right up there at the top of the screen, little white mark. That's the only mark. I mean, this thing is VG plus all around other than that mark. So I bought it, $10. I mean, who wouldn't buy it? I buy it for $10. I take it home, clean it up a little bit. It literally clicks. The music sounds great through that mark. It clicks for maybe 8 to 10 revolutions, but still sounds great through the whole thing. $10. What a story. Didn't even know if I was going to get away and buy records that day. I walk away for 5 minutes, dig through, find that for $10. Not a problem with it. I can deal with the 8 or 10 clicks on that album to get it for $10 in my collection. Okay. Something you'd be surprised to see in my collection. All right. I call myself a jazz head country boy from Georgia, right? I love country music. Grew up on 90s country music. Fell in love with jazz when I started collecting vinyl, but I listen to everything. So modern hip hop, that might be something you'd be surprised. And this is a pretty cool album. This is Schoolboy Q. He is from the West Coast. My son is kind of into the current hip hop, you know, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, J.I.D. Schoolboy is kind of part of that Kendrick Lamar West Coast scene. And this album, I streamed it before I bought it, but I mean, it's kind of laid back. It's got some jazzy, conscious is what they call it, lyrics, but jazzy music in the background. Some laid back songs, but also some closer to hardcore type stuff. But this is called Blue Slides, or Blue Lips. I'm sorry, Blue Lips. One of the best songs on here is called Blue Slides. But yeah, you may be surprised to find that in my collection. Some modern hip hop, West Coast. You know, I'm a Georgia boy, grew up on country, but I love some of the new hip hop. And this one I bought from his website, Blue Vinyl. It's got pretty valuable because it's more rare than the black vinyl, obviously. But yeah, there it is. Are you surprised? Cheap heat. Cheap heat for this summer. I'm gonna go with a $8 to $10 record. It's called the Frank Morgan All Stars. Okay, and this is cheap heat because listen to the lineup. You've got Frank Morgan on alto sax, Joe Henderson on tenor sax, Bobby Hutcherson on the vibes, Ron Carter on the bass, Al Foster on the drums. Great music. Obviously, that's a terrific lineup. Look it up. It's called Frank Morgan All-Stars Reflections. I believe it is 1980. And it was it's on Contemporary. All right. Trying to move a little quicker. There's 20 of these, I think. For a 45 or so, a 7-inch or an alternate format. I'm going to show my 7-inch from Record Store Day. One of the current modern country that I enjoy a little bit of is Lainey Wilson. She's got that 90s country sound. She's authentic sounding to me, which a lot of the male singers are not this day and age. But this was a little double 7-inch that came out on Record Store Day. It's got it's called Ain't That Some Shit. I found a few hits because country is cool again. And Country's Cool Again is one of the songs on here. Things a Man Ought to Know. And then the other 7-inch has her two biggest songs from her previous album, Heart Like a Truck and Watermelon Moonshine. So pretty good little alternate format right there. Favorite music documentary. This one was easy for me. My favorite documentary is Heart-Worn Highways. This is on vinyl. This is hard to find. Basically follows Townes Van Zandt and other Texas outlaw music. You've got Townes Van Zandt, Guy Clark, Steve Earle, Rodney Crowell, David Allan Coe's on here a little bit. I believe that Larry John Wilson, who's a Georgia boy from the Swamplands, is on here. Just a great documentary. A lot of the scene that you see right here is when he plays Waiting Around to Die, and this old man who's a friend of his starts crying in the background. Unbelievable scene. Unbelievable documentary. Look it up. Heart-Worn Highways. Or Highway. Next one. A box set. This one's kind of boring. I don't really enjoy box sets all that much, but I will show one box set that a lot of people got. It was the Garth Brooks box set. It came with No Fences, The Chase, In Pieces. When this came out, it was hard to find any 90s country on vinyl, at least, mid to late 90s stuff. And this is Fresh Horses is on here. Everybody was wondering if he's going to put out a volume 2 with his debut and Rope in the Wind on it. I have OGs of those, but anyway, this was a pretty good box set. I'd show that one. Next prompt is most trashed record in my collection. I don't have a whole lot of trashed records. I usually don't buy them if they're that bad. But I've got this Lightning Hopkins live at the Bird Lounge. This is in Houston, Texas. Believe this one's from 1964, maybe. How off am I on that? Either way, this record is trashed because the record has some tearing. The cover has some tearing on it, but the record itself, side 2, is heat damaged bad. It's very noisy. I don't even try to play it on my needle. It might mess it up, but side A sounds great, but side B is trashed, some heat damage. But awesome session. He played live right here till like 4 a.m. or something. So tells stories in between songs. So the side that I get to listen to is pretty cool. Love Lightning Hopkins, and this is the most trash record I have because only one side works. Next we have local album. All right, my local album is going to be a couple of local artists. This is one of the best Major League Baseball promos ever. Spencer Strider, pitcher for the Atlanta Braves, is a music nut, vinyl collector, and he loves indie rock. So it's the first time he's done it. So they did a volume 1. Hopefully that means volume. Let me take these out of sleep. Hopefully that means volume 2 will happen next year. Maybe he'll do this every year. He's with the Braves, which hopefully is for his career. But Spencer Strider's Vinyl Selection Volume 1. This was a free promotional giveaway a couple of weeks ago at an Atlanta Braves game. And so he was one of the best strikeout pitchers in all Major League Baseball. Messed up his arm this year. He's out for the rest of the season, but we'll look forward to getting him back. But yeah, he did Trash Panda, which is a local Atlanta band, indie rock. He did one of their good songs, Honey Eyes, for one. And so it's just one song on one side of this 7-inch. And then on the other side, so you got the song right there. And then on the other side, our beautiful Atlanta Braves logo engraved. So I picked up Trash Panda, Honey Eyes. That was my favorite when I heard this was happening, and that was my favorite song. And then my son, who went to the game with me, got Dinner Time, which is another Atlanta indie rock band, and Cuidate, I guess it's Spanish there. But he picked up this one, same style, one song on one side, and then the Atlanta Braves on the other. Tells you a little bit about the band on the back of each sleeve. So I thought that was an awesome choice for local artists. A couple of Atlanta indie rock bands I picked up at the Atlanta Braves game. So pretty cool, huh? Album From a Faraway Land. So one of my favorite Pablo Records sessions is the Gifted Ones. You've got Dizzy Gillespie, Count Basie, Ray Brown, Mickey Roker. Mickey Roker's so good on this. But they all are, but I would say Dizzy Gillespie and Mickey Roker really stand out on this session. Very similar to the Alternate Blues session that just came reissued on Analog Productions. I got that as well, but this one, it's just different. It's just got this full session feel to it, and some out there moments, you know, that you wouldn't expect from the older guys like this. But anyway, this is pressed in the Philippines, so one of the farthest away, I guess you can say, pressings for me would be this Philippine pressing of Pablo Records, the Gifted Ones. Next prompt we've got is soundtrack. I'm going to do the soundtrack, which was my favorite movie as a kid. Let my daughter watch it a few months ago. She loved it as well. Stand By Me. Awesome movie following these kids that are from a small town, and they go on this hiking trip, you know, alongside the railroad tracks to find a dead body. And if you've seen it, you know, awesome movie. But the soundtrack's great. You've got Every Day by Buddy Holly, Let the Good Times Roll, Shirley and Lee, Go With Me, the Dell Vikings. It's kind of like your, you know, golden oldie stuff. Whispering Bells, the Dell Vikings, Get a Job, the Silhouettes, Lollipop. That's a big moment in the movie. Lollipop, the Chordettes, Yakety Yak, Great Balls of Fire, Jerry Lee Lewis, Mr. Lee, the Bobettes, and Stand By Me, Ben E. King. So pretty good soundtrack right there. I love the movie, so I picked that as my favorite soundtrack. Highest recommendation. I'm going to go a reissue highest recommendation, and I am picking from the Record Store Day. This is a hard to find album of theirs, but this is Parliament, Osmium. I mean, I'd never even heard of it till I saw it was coming out on Record Store Day, this past Record Store Day, and knew I had to have it. Streamed it. I don't even know if it's on regular streaming. I had to go to YouTube to listen to it. But man, it's got some country rock feel to it, harmonica. Also the the funk side that you like from Parliament is there. It's one of their earliest albums, if not their first, when they transitioned to Parliament. I just absolutely love this album, and if you haven't listened to it, get on it. Try to find this Record Store Day reissue if you can, but can't recommend it more. If you like funk, country rock, can you imagine the blend of that? That's what you get here. Awesome music. Next, highest on my want list. I'm going to stay away from jazz because obviously there's tons of jazz that I don't have that I would love, and some country maybe. But I'm going to say James Brown, The Payback. It's a hard session to find. He really gets into it. That whole session is just nonstop energy. The type of funk that really makes you move. I love it. So James Brown, The Payback would be one of my Grail highest want list non-jazz records. Maybe I could pop up the picture of it right here in the video. Maybe not, but this was high on my want list right here. Dolly Parton, Little Sparrow. Vinyl Me Please reissued this. Unbelievable bluegrass country session from Dolly Parton in the 90s. And they finally restocked it. And I jumped on it because it went out so quick, similar to the Black Sabbath that they just did. It was available and gone so quick. When they put this one back in print, I jumped on it. Just received this today, actually, in the mail. So Dolly Parton, Little Sparrow was high on my want list. But we'll go with James Brown, The Payback. A channel shout out. I'm going to say What Can Brown for jazz recommendations. Y'all probably all know him. He's the best at producing a video with a purpose. The information behind it, the quality of the video is awesome. I watch any of them that I can because I'm going to learn something. It's going to be entertaining. I really like Cameron. I met him in person at the record show that I talked about. He's from the Atlanta area as well. So I've met him, So I love watching his videos and supporting his channel. What Can Brown. So I think it's called, oh goodness, WCB. He's on Instagram too, but you can find him. What Can Brown, jazz recommendations, reviews, great production. I love it. Silver lining to the vinyl industry. Prices are going up a little bit, right? But for me, the positive thing is I've kind of purged my collection over the last couple of years, and stuff I don't listen to that much, stuff that's worth more than it was to me, I sold. So I've dwindled down to a very manageable collection, and it makes me feel good about it. So that's a silver lining there. I have less FOMO because I feel like, just like this one, I've had FOMO and I missed it, but it came back. So just be patient. Let the prices on reissues discount. Like if you jump on the Blue Note reissues right away, you're paying full price. If you wait a couple of months, you may save $10, if you buy online. If you go to the record store, I understand. Anytime my record store gets the reissues that I want, I buy from them. I don't mind paying $8 more to support them. So, but if it's something they don't have and it's something I'm going to order online, I'm patient now and I let the price drop a little bit. So that's a silver lining to the vinyl industry. A still of a deal. We have 2 more prompts left. The next to the last prompt is a still of a deal right here. The Visitors Neptune. I bought this on an online auction. It was less of an auction and more of like a half price bin at the time. And the guy's flipping through and I said, hey, what's the label look like on the Visitors? Because if you say something about the record, you get first pick. And he pulls it out as I'm trying to figure out what it is. I'd never seen it. This was probably a year and a half ago. And the Visitors Neptune, this is a $100 median record, easy. I got it for $25, which was in the half off bin, so he had it marked at 50. Jazz, post bop, I would call it. These guys is Earl and Carl Grubbs, saxophone players. You got the alto, the tenor here. Just unbelievable record. They play John Coltrane's Naima on here in their style. It's unbelievable. I believe one of them is married to John Coltrane's daughter, possibly. That's the connection. I can't remember. I should have reviewed that. But this is a still of a deal. $25 for this. If you try to buy it, you're paying $100. So, last but not least, a promo copy. I don't have a lot of white label promo, and I know some people don't even count these as promo, but I've got a gold stamp promo of Billy Joe Shaver, Old Five and Dimers Like Me, one of my favorite covers. He's an outlaw, right? Don't stand in the doorway. He's standing in the doorway. Old Five and Dimers Like Me, Billy Joe Shaver, on the Monument label. This was actually a promo reissue. I don't know why they counted it as a promo when it was a reissue, but this would also be a still of the deal. I got this for like $25 and it's worth north of 100 as well, because I guess it's a rare reissue, different label on it, and maybe people like the new label that came out at that time, so maybe it was a promo onto the new label of Monument. But yeah, gold stamp promo, Billy Joe Shaver, of one of his best, if not his best album. Love that promo. All right, that's it. That's the 20. Thank you for sticking around for 25 minutes or whatever this is. I appreciate it. Again, check me out on Instagram. I'm way more active. Maybe I'll start doing some more videos now. This might give me that urge to do it. But anyway, appreciate you stopping by. Keep spinning that next play.